Australia ngaro sansu chi shi wa sang yan nga de engine no cho ji wa ane tengi peke ma shi wa sang ma yin nge jojo yi de de na rizi ji ane de jinsen ji den ji ane first of all I would like to say thank you everyone who organized this meeting or like to show what points of thinking like what is going on in March 10. And actually I'm a little nervous because it's my first time to stand here and tell something, and it looks uncomfortable because everyone is like more better than me, but I just take a responsibility of being a Tibetan, and I just want to share what I really felt when I heard or when I saw the announcement or the list that Tibetan community of New York and New Jersey made it. One of my friends told me this year 10th March is different, so I just checked the website and I saw it. And in the statement they said they request to us to do something, but basically I feel that's a word from them. First they said we have to come in our Tibetan traditional dress on the chuba or whatever. That's fine, we can do it. And one unacceptable things, they ask us not to bring any banner, but personally. And they made us a list of slogans that we have to quote, that we have to say during the 10th March. What is this? Who made this? Is this ratified by the exile government? No. Is that order from His Holiness Dalai? No. They just created it. They made it. I swear to God, I feel myself, it's something is going wrong this year in 10th March. First of all, we have to understand and we have to realize what is 10th March, when we started, why we have to celebrate this year. In 1959, 10th March in Lhasa, 1,000 people died and they sacrificed their lives. They lost their lives and they called China out of Tibet. Tibet is independent. Long live His Holiness Dalai. So how can we change this? How can someone change the history? We have to celebrate the same thing. That's what we did in 10th March 1959. We have to do the same thing, because the reason we have to do the same thing is we are celebrating that day. We are respecting the day. We are reminded to young generation the day. We don't want to let them forget the 1959 10th March. That's why we have to do the same thing. That's the reason we have to do the same thing. But this year they made slogan and 2 points missing. I really don't like this. They took all this is no like freedom in Tibet. They didn't put this. And China out of Tibet, they are missing it. So what is going on right now? That means they want to let the China stay in Tibet forever, or that means they don't want freedom. I'm not standing here to against or to challenge the middle way. I'm not challenging it, but I'm just be here to take a responsible being a Tibetan and share what I feel. That's what I feel in 10th March. And that make us something like, that give me some special feeling, you know, like 10th March. This is the like 56th the 10th March, and it's unlike or it's different when we look at the back in the history. They just change it. So basically they are order us, or they are telling us to do something for them. And we are crying and we say that there is no freedom of speech in Tibet or in China, whatever. We say that China's government does not give us freedom of speech. And now we are in exile, we are in a democracy country. We don't have the, basically if you think critically, if you think deeply, we don't have the freedom of speech right now during the 10th March. So how can you get the freedom of speech in Tibet? Why we don't have freedom of speech in democracy country? Is this what democracy country does? No. Everyone understand that. That's the reason that we have to be here. We don't want to divide the Tibet into two parts. We don't want to do this. We have to stand united. But they are giving us something that makes us excluded from the 10th March. Actually, we don't have to ask or we don't have to take permission or authority, anything for the 10th March. Because 10th March does not belong to any individual or any organization. Tet March is for the Tibetan people, for the 6 million Tibetan people. That's why we call it Tibetan National Uprising Day. We don't call this Tibetan community in New York and NJ Uprising Day. We don't call this SFT Uprising Day. We call this Tibetan National Uprising Day. That's why, basically what I'm saying is, we don't have to get any permission or authority to join it, to practice that. We have rights, we have responsibility. So we have to go there and we have to call. For 56 years, we've been restored pain, sadness, emotion, everything. So now this is the time to express out. This is the time to call. And whatever we restore we have to share now and we have to call. And they stopped us. And they asked to, basically I can say they asked us to not to share our emotional feeling or whatever. That's like something unacceptable thing. That's what I want to share on the 10th March. And then the second thing, I have one request to everyone. So now the 10th March is coming, day after tomorrow, Tuesday, the 10th March is coming. I ask, it doesn't matter whether you are fighting for independence or whether you are fighting for middle way. Just take the responsibility of being a Tibetan and just be there, just be on the street with us. I'm not ordering you to call independence or call you to middle way. Just be there and call human rights in Tibet, freedom in Tibet, because that's our right. That's our, long been, we have the right. So we have to be there on the street and we have to call for freedom and human rights in Tibet. Just being a Tibetan, you have to take the responsibility. It does not matter whether you are fighting for independence, whether you are fighting for middle way. I do respect everything I do. I'm not challenged here to any of the fighting, but we don't have to fight inside our community. There's no more time to fight inside. There's no more time to blame each other. We have to stand in one. We have to stand united. It doesn't matter which way you are going. In a nutshell, we have to create it, or we have to build a bridge to cross the river. Whatever tools, what kind of tools you can use any kind of tools to build the bridge, to cross the river. So that's why I'm asking everyone and I'm requesting to everyone, please, on the 10th March, don't stay at your home, don't go anywhere, be on the street with us and call freedom in Tibet, call human rights. And also think why we are in this country, why we are here, why we are not in our country. That's the reason you have to think. And how many people sacrifice life so far, 142 self-immolation. They lost their life. They left behind their loves and near ones, their husbands, wife, kids. They died, they lost their life for Tibet, for our, not because of them. So when our sister and brother can sacrifice their life and our country for the Tibet, so why we can't spend one day for our country? That's the 10th March. Be on the street and be with us, call freedom in Tibet and human rights in Tibet. You don't have to against any organization, you don't have to fight with anybody. Just be there, call freedom in Tibet, human rights in Tibet. That's the most thing. We need freedom, we need human rights. Those two are imperative for Tibetan. And they tell us we have to bring back our Dalai Lama in our country. That's right. Everyone wants to do that. But first thing, how can you bring our Dalai Lama or our people back to Tibet when there's no freedom? Do you believe China? No, we don't believe China. Why we have to believe? So first, create the way, do whatever you got to do, and be there on street. That's my request. Thank you.